Hello everybody. The next instalment of Dave Gets Wood. So it'll be part 14, and it's a rather wet, miserable day today. Well, it started off nice and dry, but it's a bit wet now. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning, and I've come over here with a purpose today. To be honest, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. I came over to my folks on Friday because I needed to get out of the house. I don't know what, I just had this urge to get out of the house and do something. So that's what I did on Friday. I came here, but I worked on some stuff. I say worked. I did a bit of stuff that my dad needed help with or needed doing. So I kind of came on Friday and did that, so that today I can just get here, come over here and focus on the unit, because as you know, if you've been keeping up, I've only got the back of the unit left to sand, and then that's the sanding done. So I've come here today with hopefully a good opportunity of getting the back of the unit sanded. If I'm able to get it all sanded and get a fine sanding done on that as well, I'll see how I am at that point, because if I'm okay, or if I'm feeling up to it, I'm going to put the first coat of varnish on. But I say that, but there is still a bit to do. I'd need to masking tape the inside edges, so there's a little bit to do, and I'd need to clean the whole unit first, so there is a bit to do before I can actually go, right, let's bang a coat of varnish on it. But I'll see how much I can get done today. Main thing though is just to get to the point where I can go, right, the sanding is done. So that is my main aim for today. I have also been contemplating how I'm going to do the next stage. So basically, when it gets to the point of varnishing this, the unit is on a table, of which I can only access at the moment 3 sides of the unit. Now, what I'm hoping I'm going to be able to do is just move the table a little bit and be able to get access all the way round. But I'm going to have to, like, all the drawers are underneath the table, so I'm going to have to move those. But I'm thinking I might move them out the way somewhere safe. So I kind of need to be able to move the table and unit before I can really go for the coat of varnish. But also I've been thinking a lot about the edging here. Now I've already mentioned I'm going to masking tape it, but how I was going to masking tape it was kind of under discussion with myself. Basically what I was going to do was just going to cut some masking tape to basically fit into the gaps, but then it occurred to me this morning, I was like, well, hang on a minute, what about just putting a strip of masking tape over all of it, and then getting like a Stanley knife, and then just cut the bits out. Yeah, cut out the part that I want to varnish. So rather than doing loads of fiddly little cutting of bits of masking tape to get it on, I could just put one strip and then cut out and peel off the bit that I'm actually going to want to varnish. And I'm thinking that might be the easier way to do it. The only thing is, using a Stanley knife, there's a good chance that I'm going to scratch the wood or cut the wood, and I don't really want to do that. Another way would be to kind of draw up a little template and then put the masking tape sort of over that and carve that out, but it's a lot of fucking about. So yeah, but that's something obviously I've got to work out, but I've got a little bit of time on that, because for the moment I've always toyed with the idea of, okay, am I going to complete the base unit and then finish the drawers, or not? And to be honest, I'm thinking that's the way I'm going to go with it, because to really to really varnish the whole of the base unit, I either need to have it the right way up so that I can get a coat of varnish on all of the underneath the top, basically, so the whole thing's had one coat of varnish, and then put a coat of varnish on the whole of it again. The only thing is, having it upside down on the table gives me, I don't know why, but it just feels like it gives me better access to the whole of the unit. So I'm sort of toying with the idea of, okay, well, maybe I get the whole of what I can see while it's upside down done, and then flip it over and finish off the top. Or maybe what I do is get one coat of varnish on all of the bit that is accessible to me now, and then turn it over and the whole thing has had a varnish, at least one coat of varnish, and that might be the better way to do it, to be fair. So yeah, a lot of planning, and obviously once I've done that and got a clear coat of varnish on it as well, that's when I can go, right, okay, the final pieces will be finishing off the drawers, because basically what I'll be able to do is effectively move the unit out of the way when that's finished, and just give myself that little bit of extra space to work in, to get the drawers finished off, and then it's just get the handles, which obviously I've already talked about. But anyway, I want to get cracking with this, so I'm going to stop waffling, and I'm going to crack on. So hopefully I'll show in a moment a before, during and after sanding of the back. Now I know some people may want me to put video on of me actually doing the work, but I'm not going to do that, because for all I know I'll pick my nose a lot or scratch my nuts a lot, but no, so I'm going to crack on with it anyway. And it does sound like the rain is coming down quite heavily now as well, so it is coming down, it's hammering it down. So yeah, I'm going to crack on, so let's see how we do today. Okay, so I'm halfway through sanding it and taking the picture. It kind of looks like I've left a lot of bits unsanded. Now I'm not going too deep on this, to be honest, because this is the back, but there is a lot of knots, and that's what these are, a lot of knots in the wood. And I could spend, I mean, I'd never be able to sand the knots down, they're a different, it's just naturally a different colour. But I could spend a lot of time sanding this down even more, but I'm not going to bother. I'm going to get it to a decent finish, and then not waste too much time on that. But so far so good, good progress. So yeah, let's crack on. Interesting news. I'm down to the last bit of sanding. So let's get this fucker done. The sanding is fucking completed. Thank fuck for that. You know what, I am absolutely buzzing about that. Well, I say the sanding is completed. Excuse me, I do need to get my fine sponge and just give this back a little fine rubbing, but we're there. The sanding is, I'm calling it fucking done. I've no idea what the time is, but to be fair, it wasn't layered on too thickly on the back, thank fuck. So, but yeah, I don't know what the time is. I'm getting a little bit hungry as well, so I think I'm going to need to have some of the biscuits I brought with me. But yeah, while I've been doing this, I've been trying to work out, okay, have I got it in me to clean it today? And I kind of want to, because if I can clean it today, I can put a coat of varnish on it. But yeah, I kind of want to do that. Interestingly though, I kind of had a bit of an epiphany. I thought about it last time. So I think on the last video I mentioned that I hadn't been able to like get on with this, and I had to wait to sand the side, and I was but afterwards I was and interestingly today while I was sanding I was thinking about it. Now I'm a bit of a weird person. When it comes to sleeping, I can't sleep in silence. I have to have noise on. I'm sure I've mentioned this before. So I'll tend to listen to, say, Joe Rogan podcasts or Neil deGrasse Tyson podcasts to help me fall asleep, and it works most of the time. Apart from those occasions where I just can't sleep. But I tend to listen to things rather than try and watch things. Because it activates the eyes. So yeah, while I was using the power sander, I was thinking maybe it's the noise of the power sander and how noisy it is that I can't hear anything else. And I don't really think about anything else other than what I am doing with that sander. It's almost as if like the noise blocks out everything else. And maybe that's one of the reasons why I've enjoyed doing the power sanding. I enjoyed the... well, I do enjoy the sanding. And maybe that's why I don't enjoy the fiddliness of sanding. But I'd probably say I enjoy the sanding more than I enjoy the varnishing. Although I do like the fact that obviously the varnishing is what gives things its eventual colour. But yeah, I'm at the stage where I must admit I think I am going to try and get this cleaned. The only thing is it will be absolutely covered inside and out, so the cleaning may take longer than I would like, to be honest. But I'm going to see what I can get done. So yeah, big day today really. And if it were for the fact that I don't really drink, I'd probably have a celebratory drink, and I can't have a celebratory meal because I've got a pizza waiting for me in my fridge at home. But yeah, very glad to have got to this stage now. It's taken a fucking long time, a proper long time. And okay, the table that I plan on doing next should take nowhere near as long. Yeah, it shouldn't take anywhere near as long. But it'll still take me a while. It's going to be a good few weeks. I mean, a professional could probably get it sanded and 3 coats of varnish, 3 coats of clear varnish on it in one day. That ain't gonna happen for me. But I've made very slow but good progress on this. So yeah, absolutely delighted with this stage. So I am going to disappear now and start cleaning this. When I say cleaning, I'm going to have to sort of brush it down, vac it out, and then get the white spirits, which I may be running a little low on. I might have to see if we've got any more here. And give it a real nice clean. Now when it comes to cleaning sanded wood, I must admit, before doing these projects, I didn't realise, I mean, when it comes to cleaning it, I literally would have just brushed them and gone, yeah, done. I never would have thought about getting white spirits and cleaning it. And the reason for that is it picks up all of the dust that brushing just doesn't remove. So yeah, it does make it a big difference. Because I mean, I've done stuff over the years in the past, like doing different bits of sanding and shit like that, and even then never would have thought about it. But I think I definitely can notice the difference. But anyway, so I'm going to get sort of cleaned up, and my little work area sort of cleaned up, move the drawers out of the way, sort of prep for the full access cleaning, and I'm either going to be capable to start the cleaning today or not. But ideally I want to get the white spirits clean done on it, because what that means is the next time I'm here to work on this is varnishing time. So that's basically what I want to do today, is get to the point where whatever is happening, well, whenever next is, it's varnishing time. And to be fair, I'm coming over to dog sit. What's the days? Today's Monday. I'm coming over on Wednesday to dog sit for a few days, so I might get a little bit of time in here. But I've got Steve coming over for a couple of the days. Was hoping that James would be able to come down again, but I mentioned it to him last night, sort of reminded him that it's this week, and he's, this week already? I thought it was a few weeks away. I was like, well, it was a few weeks ago when we told you about it. So yeah, so it looks like James isn't going to be able to come down, but Steve's going to be here, so I might not get a lot of time to come over here, but that wasn't sort of necessarily part of my plan for those days anyway. But the option is there if I wanted to come over and do a little bit. I mean, to be fair, I could always take the drawers over to the house, for example, and get their masking taped up while I'm over there. And because one of the things I don't want to do is, like, with me being here today, obviously my folks are at home, my little brother's come over from Poland, so the dogs are in the house and there's people there. What I wouldn't necessarily want to do is just leave the dogs in the house for most of the day while I'm over here. It just wouldn't seem right to me. It's a little bit like if I had a dog and I was working 8-hour days, I wouldn't feel right leaving the dog for 8 hours. But then that's just me. Okay, right, I'm going to crack on with my next stage preparations, and let's see how we get on. Right, it's clean, it's dry, and I've masking taped the inner edge. Bit of a pain in the backside though. For example, here, this sticks out more than this, so getting a clean edge not been easy. But what that does mean is it's ready for varnishing. So I kind of have a bit of a dilemma in that the unit is now ready for varnish. But the dilemma is, if I start varnishing it, start the first coat, I need to finish the first coat. So I've got to weigh up whether I'm going to be able to finish it once I've started. And to be honest, I'm struggling a bit physically at the moment. I feel my back is hurting. I can feel it starting to tighten up. It's getting ready to getting ready to pull on me. But at the same time, to be fair, I hate fiddling about with stuff like masking tape, as I've found out just. Because it's all fiddly and awkward and yeah. But prevention is better than cure. If I didn't put the tape on, then the finish of the varnish would be awful. I just hope that because I'm not very dexterous, I just hope that I've been able to make it look like it'll be alright. So yeah, so I really want to start this coat of varnish, but I'm just concerned that if I do start, I ain't gonna be able to finish it. Yeah. Obviously, as I said, it's ready for varnish now, which means I've done a little bit of cleaning as well. And I've moved all the drawers. And to be honest, where I've put them, they're looking very smart. Probably where I've put them is probably the best example of light on them. I'll show you a picture of that now while I'm talking. And that's still only with the one coat of varnish on it. So they will look, I think they're going to look bloody lovely when it's done. Having done the little bit of masking that I have on the front here, it is making me think, you know what, it'll be easier on the drawers to put that strip of masking tape, like I said, and then carve out the bits I don't need, rather than trying to cut up the masking tape into the shapes, because that's ball ache. So I'm gonna have to be very careful with that. But earlier on in the video for today, I was buzzing that I'd got to the point that I had. But doing the masking tape really fucking done me in. So I'm thinking, at the moment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break. I mean, I've been taking breaks anyway, but I am going to take a break, and then I will see how I am feeling. Because like I said, once I start, I want to be able to get the whole coat done. And one of the reasons for that is, if I start on the front, I have to finish the front. But obviously the front has a connecting edge to the side. Well, if I get a little bit of varnish on the side, then I effectively have to do the side. And obviously the side connects to the back. So again, so yeah, I've got to weigh those options up. I really do want to do it. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to. So I think I might just have to say no. You know what? Good day, successful day. It's ready. One concern is though that if I don't get that layer of varnish on today, then obviously I've just cleaned it, so it's clean and ready. If it's another week, or because I'm not going to be able to be here on Monday, so if, let's say for example, it's 2 weeks, that's effectively 2 weeks worth of dust that's going to collect on it, so I'm going to have to brush it off, so and hope that it shouldn't need another white spirit clean. But yeah, see, that's the thing, it could be 2 weeks at the earliest. I know I've said I'm here for a few days, but I don't think I'm going to, well, I might have the time to be able to come over and put a coat of varnish on, but I also might not. I might not be feeling up to it. I mean, last time I was looking after the dogs, I was absolutely knackered. So yeah, the thing is, I've got to weigh up the risk of it as well, because I've got a flat inspection on next Monday. That's why I'm not coming here on Monday. But because I'm here dog sitting for a few days, I'm not going to be at home to be able to clean. So I've had to do some cleaning at home over the weekend, and I've literally got tomorrow to finish off what cleaning I want to do, which means I can't be completely incapacitated tomorrow. So I've got to be careful. Right, so anyway, I'm going to take a break, and I'll give you an update very shortly. Right, update time. As I quite often say, I'm fucked. But that's mainly because I have done the first coat of varnish on the base unit. Sorry, I got gas all of a sudden. Yeah, so I'm knackered and I've got varnish all over my fingers. And the weather sounds like it's turned proper nasty outside. But yeah, so I've got the first coat of varnish on, and I've got to say it's looking quite smart. I'll show you, I'll put some pictures on now. I'll say some. I know I took one picture when the back was half done, half not, so I'll put that one on. And I should also, I might put one in a bit actually, show the before and after, or the before sanding, having sanded, blah blah blah. Let's take a look at the unit, shall we? Okay, so colour wise, it's not looking too bad. I mean, I think I would say I've probably gone a little bit light on the front for this first coat. I was being very cautious, and interestingly, I mean, if you look at the colour of the drawers, you can see a couple of the drawers are a little lighter. I don't mind there being a bit of difference, but the second coat is where it's really going to come into its own, hopefully. So yeah, it's not looking too bad. It's getting a little darker in here now, so it's better to see. So I did put quite a thick layer on the side and the back. I must admit, the back looks very, very nice. I like it. I do like how the back is looking, and this side as well. But I did find it a little difficult, a little strenuous to actually get the varnishing done. And to be honest, a big part of that is from when I did the cleaning of the unit. For some reason it really fucked up my hand, really hurt my hand doing it. But that's gonna be me done for today. I'm not doing any more. I've done a lot more than I was expecting to get done today. I mean, I came with the goal of getting the back sanded and trying to get it cleaned, and to be fair, getting to the point of having actually now the first layer of varnish on it is massive. I mean, that now means every bit has got its first coat of varnish. So that now means that my next session, my aim then will be to get coat number 2 on the base unit, but not actually on the top of the base unit, because I'm thinking, well, I might change my mind on that. I could turn it over for coats 2 and 3 and really focus on doing the whole thing, but with it being upside down, it does give me much better access to some of the fiddly bits. So I am thinking I'll do coat 2 and coat 3 on the bottom of the basin, the underside of the top, and then once they're dry I can then have it turned over to do coats 2 and 3 on the top, and then it's ready for its clear coat. And that then will only leave me with the fronts of the drawers for coats 2, 3 and clear coat, the door, two more coats of varnish on that, and then a clear coat on the front, and then the shelf, the inner shelf, which I'm probably not going to clear coat, to be fair, because it's inside. We'll see. I've been half tempted, with that only being a sort of smallish piece. I have been thinking, well, maybe I could do coat 2 and 3 on that and a clear coat as a bit of a test to see how the rest looks. But I'm kind of limited for the space I've got to be able to do that at the moment. And because it's a single flat piece, I have to do top and bottom, so I can only do like one side, wait for that to dry, then do the other side, wait for that to dry, then do the next. So it takes quite a while to actually get that done. But anyway, I'm exhausted now, but I'm very pleased with how much I've got done today, and I'm very pleased with how this is starting to come along. I've no idea how long it's going to take to get everything else done, to get the rest of the stuff done, but I am into that zone now of it's varnish time. What I'm going to need to work out is whether I am going to, you know what, I'm probably not going to sand between the varnish layers, right? I think what I might do is get coats 2 and 3 on, and then perhaps light sand before the clear coat. We'll have to see about that. But anyway, as I said, I'm tired. I am really hungry now. So yeah, I know I've not been as talkative today, but we've got a lot done. Right, I'm going to sign off, I think, and just go and get myself sorted out. I think today's one of those days where I could do with a hot fucking bath. And all I could do was seeing a chiropractor, because my back is ruined again. Oh, it's so bad, it won't even crack. Oh, right, not sure when the next instalment will be, but I'm sure it'll be in the next 2 or 3 weeks. In the meantime, check out my other videos if you want to, and also check out Dynamic GT League's YouTube channel if you're interested in watching some action-packed racing, where I do commentary along with James in Stephen Ray's GT Sport Racing League. Right, have a good, okay, it's weird, I was about to say have a good weekend, because for some reason in my mind I thought it was Friday for a second then, which is odd because all of Friday I thought it was Tuesday. So yeah, right, have a good one, and I shall see you again soon. See you in a bit.